His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Kerala, Sri Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekar ji, Sri Ansalam MLA Neyatangara, Sri Pandalam Sudhakaran, former Minister of Kerala, the most respected and beloved Majid Khan ji, Chancellor Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education, Sri Fasil Khan, Managing Director, NIMS and Pro Chancellor Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education, Dr. Tracy Thomas, VC, NICHE, Srimati Sapnam Safiq, one of the very good human being and daughter of Majid Khan, Executive Director, NA Education Trust, Dr. K. Saju, all faculty members of this great institute, young students, press persons, my family members, my ISRO colleagues, very, very good morning to each and every one of you. First of all, let me express my heartfelt gratitude for honoring me with the APJ Kalam Award. It is indeed a privilege to receive an award named after one of the greatest son of Bharat, Kalam sir, a legendary person who was part of the space community as well as defense community and responsible for demonstrating atomic explosion in this country. That too, from another great son of soil, our Honorable Governor of Kerala, receiving from his hand is yet another great honor for me. It is a matter of great pride I joined in 1984 in the composite group of Indian Space Research Organization, which was started by none other than Kalam sir himself. Just last week on 27th July, I was with his family members in Rameswaram in the remembrance function of 10 years of his remembrance. His rise from a humble beginning in Rameswaram to become the project director of the first launch vehicle project of the India and became the missile man of India, and finally the highest office in the country as president of the India, president, the people president of India. Truly, he demonstrated a very good human being in nature in every steps when he moved forward. I humbly accept this great honor on behalf of 20,000 of ISRO employees. This honor is not for an individual. Our activity, our contribution is a teamwork. So I accept on behalf of the entire space community of India. Also, when I look back, the people who are responsible for this award, apart from my colleagues who have contributed with me for the space program, my parents, who are from a very humble background in a village, who have not studied beyond primary education, and they could make us to the present stature. Also, my family members, mainly my wife, Dr. Kavita, she had to sacrifice her professional life for me to reach to this level. When I say my wife, she was your colleague, working here for almost 19 years, and as the head of the Department of Biochemistry. I understand one of the very strict teacher who could do something for the student community. And on this occasion, early morning I was remembering one of the greatest persons, Srimati Sapnam Safiq. In fact, there was a difficult time in the family. She got the appointment order in Germany. She got postdoctorate in Germany. But everything she had to sacrifice to stay back along with me in Trivandrum. So at that point of time, we were thinking what to do with a PhD candidate. Then when I came to their house, like a own sister, she was receiving. And today, I am very happy my wife could contribute in this institute for 19 years. Dear friends, when you look at the Indian space program, We all should be proud that the space program was started in this part of country in 1962. And when we started our program, it was a very humble beginning. 1969, ISRO was formed, August 15. And when ISRO was formed, we were not having anything in our hand. There was no satellite technology, no launch vehicle technology, no application. And truly, 1969 is a very, very important year. Neil Armstrong was landed safely on the moon and brought back safely. At that point of time, just we are entering into the space area. Truly, we are 60 years behind the advanced countries. And it was 1963, November 21st, we launched the first tiny rocket from Indian soil. And that rocket was donated by USA. And the payload came from France, and we assembled and launched from Tumba. After so many years, this year, last month 30th, NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar satellite, a 10,300 crore payload which was realized by NASA along with our payload, the S-band synthetic aperture radar, entire satellite getting built in India by Indians and launching precisely in the required orbit with just 2 kilometers accuracy by Indian launcher. What a great, proud moment, how much growth has happened. And 1979, we had the first SLV-3 launch. We could not successfully accomplish. And 1980, we had the first launch. A 35 kg satellite was placed in the orbit by the project director and the team. Project director was none other than APJ Abdul Kalam ji. He was working with a great chairman, Professor Satish Dhawan, a great personality. From that 35 kg, we have come a long way. First, we could not accomplish. Second was a successful mission. And this year, 100th launcher, on January 29th, we had to place in the orbit. We had to send it to space. We were all so much tensed. We are confident. And I want to tell, it was a 100th launch, was a perfect, successful launch, and we are written in the golden letters of Indian space history. In the satellite, the first satellite was launched in the year 1979, the Aryabhatta. The entire support, it was done by the project directorship of Professor Rao. Full support came from other countries. And we realized and launched from that. Till today, 132 satellites of various types are conceived and built and placed in the orbit by India. And the heaviest satellite is the GSAT-11 high throughput 6-ton satellite. Not only that, a country which was not having satellite and rocket technology, to our credit, we have launched 433 satellites of 34 foreign countries using our rockets from Indian soil. And in the area of application, exactly 50 years back the application started. It was 1st August 1975 we demonstrated a site experiment. 2,400 television sets were kept in 6 states, 2,400 villages. A signal from USA satellite ATS was beamed, and first time we demonstrated the mass communication in the country. From that till now, 55 applications are in place. Teleeducation, television broadcasting, telecommunication, disaster warning and mitigation, potential fishery zone, weather forecasting, real-time train monitoring, and so much of application. And let me just 2 applications. Because if I have to talk application, keeping honorable governor, it is not appropriate to talk so much time. And you know, we are having 7,500 kilometer seashore length in India. And there are people involved in fishing activities. And there was a time people go to the sea and come back in empty hand. Today, every day, 9 lakh people real time we are communicating where we get potential fishery zone. Through that, we are getting 30,000 crore profit per year. And the government of India budget to ISRO is just half of that only. And in the area of telecommunication, 35 years back or 40 years back, if you were to make a phone call from Neyatangara to even Trivandrum, you know what was involved. You have to book a trunk and you have to wait. Today, you know what is the communication revolution, what has happened. Disaster warning and mitigation. You all know when there was a flood in Orissa, 10,000 of our brothers we lost. And when there was a tsunami, I have seen with my own eyes so many people we lost. But today, we are saving lot of people and lot of application. And today, India is a vibrant space program under the honorable leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. This year, on January 16, we had an important experiment accomplished. 2 satellites rotating with 28,400 kilometer velocity in the space was successfully docked in space, and India becoming one among 4 countries having that technology demonstrated. And we are having a satellite to study the sun, the Aditya L1. We are one among 4 countries having that satellite. Having started the space program by tying the rocket in bicycle, today 9 places India is number 1 in the world. Chandrayaan 1 finding water molecule on the moon, we are number 1. Chandrayaan 2, we are having a best camera in the moon surface. Best camera in the moon belongs to India, we are number 1. Chandrayaan 3, you all know, August 23rd, 2023. India is the only country, first country soft landed near South Pole of moon, we are number 1. And Mars orbiter mission, we have to travel 69 crore kilometer, and we have succeeded Mars orbiter mission in the first attempt. Till today, India is the only country which has accomplished in the first attempt. And you know, the first satellite was launched in orbit in 1957 by Russia. To their credit, they placed, using a single rocket, they placed 37 satellites. We discussed in Trivandrum, and debated, we decided we should become number 1 in the world. And we decided to place 100 satellites. You know, placing 100 satellites is easy, but it should not collide each other. And India is the first country which successfully accomplished more than 100 satellites in a single go. And we had the world record so many years. Cryogenic rocket technology is one which was denied to India. I had the opportunity and blessing to work in that area for almost 35 years. A technology which was denied to India. Today, the program was started by none other than Dr. A. Muthanayagam. And it was pursued in a vigorous way by Dr. G. Madhav Nair. And today, to our credit, we are having 3 cryogenic systems developed in the country, and we are one among 6 countries having that capability. Not only that, the second system when we developed, I was so blessed to be the project director towards the last phase of 5 years. To our credit, in 3 places we have become number 1 in the world. Only with 3 engines we have successfully accomplished the mission. And 28 months from engine test to flight we have done. Average time of any other country is 6 years. And in a stage hot test which has to be done in Mahendragiri in a 1,000 crore facilities. Generally the world takes 10 months average. And minimum time taken by any other country is 68 days. We put a target and we have done in 34 days. And I want to tell, we are number 1 in that place. Even next 50 years, no other country is going to break this world record. That I can tell you confidently. Today, with Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister leading the space program, really we are doing great job to the country. Sindoor operation, you all know, one of our responsibilities is to ensure safety and security of the entire citizens of Bharat. Whatever required, I cannot talk a lot of things, but whatever required our satellite could do during that operation. And right now we are having 55 satellites in the orbit. In another 3 to 4 years, it will be made to something around 150 numbers. And Honorable Prime Minister has given a clear roadmap and vision to us. We are going to have our human space flight program. This year, December 1st uncrewed mission will be done. And 2027 March, we will have the first Indian rocket taking our own Indian to space and bring them back safely. We are all working towards that. 2035, Honorable PM has given the direction and guideline. We are working to build the Indian space station. It is a 52-ton Mars space station, India will be one among very few countries having its own space station. By 2040, we will be having a mission, crewed mission to moon. Honorable PM has given the direction, we are working towards that. Indian will be taken to moon, land and bring them back safely. We are working on lot of programs like Chandrayaan 4, Chandrayaan 5, Aditya, further activities. And so many infrastructures are coming out. And you know, the NASA synthetic aperture radar satellite, which is a highly prestigious project of the world, the most costly satellite ever realized in the world. When we were given the responsibility, we have successfully accomplished, made every Indian proud. Every Indian proud. Today NASA is so much appreciating us. And sending Suklaji to space, you all know, we have safely sent him to space, brought him back safely. But some of the background activities probably you all may not be knowing. When the rocket was supposed to be lifted off on June 11th, on June 10th, we, the Indians, came to know there was a leakage in the rocket. And we ensured the rocket is lifting off its top, entire correction was done, and ensured safely the astronauts were sent. But for Indians' intervention, it would have been a catastrophic failure. And I want to say, Indian education system, Indian ISRO activities, we have proved we are second to none in the world for any activities. And dear friends, when you come, ISRO, lot of things, maybe some other occasion I will talk. We are working on a 200-ton liquid oxygen kerosene engine. We are developing a new generation rocket. You know, the first rocket, SLV-3 capability was to take 35 kg to low Earth orbit. Currently, we are working on a rocket which can take 75,000 kg to orbit. That is the development work what is happening in ISRO. And we have developed a lot of indigenous development, including a 32-bit processor, and so much work is going on. Now, coming to India as a country, we got independence 1947. You know, at that point of time, 97.5% people were below the poverty line. And when you say below the poverty line, 50% of the people in the villages, they were taking food hardly only one time per day, including my village. That was the situation. From that, today we have grown in every sector. We are economically fourth in the world. What is a proud nation we are having, and we are growing. Education, when we got independence, there was not much proper education, only 12% people were literate. And medical system, average life of Indians were hardly 32 years. Today, 4 weeks back, it has become 72 years. Now, in these two areas of education system, your NIMS Education Society has contributed. And health, when from 32 to 72 when it has become, there are so many people who have contributed. You are also significantly contributing. Let me congratulate and compliment the NIMS community for your contribution in education and health sector. With that, once again, let me thank all my teachers. Let me salute my teachers, my colleagues, 13 senior officers I have reported in ISRO, all the senior officers, all my ISRO colleagues, and my family members, including my wife, daughter Divya and son Kalesh, for their sacrifice and contribution, and the NIMS community for honoring with this great award, and Honorable Governor for taking his time to be here. What a wonderful honor. Sir, your presence and the way you have handed over the award gives me more responsibility, more. I want to assure the ISRO community is more committed for contributing for the growth of this country. And before I conclude, I want to tell a country which started its space program by tying rocket in bicycle, and 70 years behind the advanced countries. By 2040, we will be in par with any other spacefaring nation in terms of rockets, in terms of satellites, in terms of application, in terms of space capability, and we will contribute for the Viksit Bharat, the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to make this country as a developed country before we celebrate the 100 years of independence. And I also request the student community here to contribute whatever way possible for making this country as a developed country before we celebrate 100 years of independence. Let me pray the Almighty to shower the blessing on this institute for growing to greater and greater heights and contribute for the common man of Bharat. Jai Hind. Thank you.
ഭാരതത്തിലെ അതിപ്രശസ്തമായ ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളിലേക്ക് മലയാളം ന്യൂസ് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ആധ്യാത്മിക യാത്രകൾ. പ്രമുഖ ട്രാവൽ ഏജൻസിയായ യാത്രാനന്ദയുമായി ചേർന്ന് മലയാളം ന്യൂസ് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ഒരുക്കുന്ന യാത്രയിൽ ചുരുങ്ങിയ നിരക്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്കും പങ്കാളികളാകാം. ഭാരതത്തിലെ പ്രമുഖ ശക്തിപീഠമായ അസമിലെ കാമാഖ്യ ക്ഷേത്രത്തിലേക്കാണ് ആദ്യ യാത്ര. കാമരൂപമെന്ന് കാളിദാസനും പ്രാഗ്ജ്യോതിഷപുരമെന്ന വ്യാസനും വിളിച്ച അതിമനോഹരമായ സംസ്ഥാനമാണ് അസം. സമമായി മറ്റൊന്നില്ല എന്നാണ് അസമിന്റെ അർത്ഥം. ബ്രഹ്മപുത്ര നദിയും ഹിമാലയവും ദൃശ്യചാരുത കൊണ്ട് അനുഗ്രഹിച്ച അസമിലെ കാമാഖ്യ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ തന്നെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാളി ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളിലൊന്നാണ്. കാമാഖ്യ ക്ഷേത്ര സന്ദർശനത്തിന് ശേഷം കിഴക്കിന്റെ സ്വിറ്റ്സർലാൻഡ് എന്നറിയപ്പെടുന്ന മേഘാലയയിലെ ഷില്ലോങ് നഗരവും ചിറാപുഞ്ചിയും അതിമനോഹരമായ മഴക്കാടുകളും ഹിമാലയൻ കാറ്റ് ചൂളം വിളിക്കുന്ന താഴ്വരകളും മേഘങ്ങളെ ഉമ്മവയ്ക്കുന്ന ചെറുകുന്നുകളും കണ്ണാടി പോലെ ജലമൊഴുകുന്ന ഉമയാങ് നദിയും സന്ദർശിക്കുന്നു. ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഒരിക്കലെങ്കിലും കണ്ടിരിക്കേണ്ട ഈ അത്ഭുത ലോകത്തിലേക്ക് നിങ്ങളെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. വിമാന ടിക്കറ്റും ചിലവുകളും ഉൾപ്പെടെ 65,000 രൂപ ചിലവ് വരുന്ന ഈ പാക്കേജ് 59,000 രൂപയ്ക്ക് മലയാളം ന്യൂസ് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ലഭ്യമാക്കുന്നു. ആദ്യം ബുക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന 5 പേർക്ക് 56,000 രൂപയ്ക്ക് ഏർലി ബേർഡ് ഓഫറും ലഭ്യമാണ്. കൂടുതൽ വിവരങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇനി പറയുന്ന നമ്പറിൽ ബന്ധപ്പെടുക. 8089001200 അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 7736549234.